So Donald Trump, what is he going to do? Is he going to barricade himself in the White House, in the Oval Office? Is he going to try to get the military to back up a coup? Is he going to go to the courts? And the courts are going to be like, yeah, I know you gave us lifetime appointments, and we totally don't need to risk the power of the entire judicial branch to save your bitch ass? Like, that's the thing, is like, Trump gave these judges lifetime appointments. Why would they protect Trump? If they protect Trump, all it does is undermine the legitimacy of the judicial branch and make it more likely that a Biden administration, or if Democrats take the Senate in 2022 because they failed this time because Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are fucking awful, right? If they expand the court, it just makes them more likely to expand the courts. So I think that there's going to be a level, there's going to be a certain measure in how the judges are going to play this out. Coming here, I don't think they're going to do this. I really don't. Unless that they're confident that Trump is the guy, and Trump is melting down. Fox News is abandoning him, right? Like, everyone's abandoning him. So he's melting down. So if they thought, if Donald, and this all comes back down to, like, if Donald Trump had a good election night response, right? Things would be different. But is he going to run again in 2024? Who knows what he's going to do in the lame duck of his presidency? But I've got a Fun Hill article that speculates, well, here's something he could do. Pardon himself? Let's read. So, this is coming out of, who wrote this? This is by Jeffrey Crouch, opinion contributor. Okay, so, on July 22nd, 2017, President Trump tweeted that he had the complete power to pardon roughly a year later. He tweeted about his absolute right to pardon myself. In quotes. Should he lose his re-election bid to Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, Trump's campaign is currently challenging vote counts in several states. A lame duck Trump would be well positioned to finally put these beliefs into action by pardoning himself before leaving office on January 20th, 2021. How else is he going to run in 2024? He needs to pardon himself. That's the only way. Otherwise, that guy's going to jail. I got bad news for the Trumpers out there. This might be the only option. And if he does this, do you think he can have a popular front to win again? I don't know. As I'm reading this, 8 minutes ago, Donald Trump, I won this election by a lot. Would you mind linking? Well, actually, never mind. Anyway, let's read this. Why might Trump need to pardon himself? The Mueller investigation in parents, or as Trump would put it, the illegal Mueller witch hunt, unveiled several instances of possible obstruction of justice. These allegations, along with potential tax fraud and running afoul of campaign finance laws, are federal changes that Trump charges that Trump has avoided because he is the sitting president. They could return once a new administration takes over. At this point in his presidency, Trump has the most freedom he will ever enjoy to grant clemency to anyone he would like, including a bunch of buggers that I don't feel like reading the names of. So, may Trump self-pardon? Article 2 of the Constitution contains broad, virtually unlimited clemency language that allows for the president to forgive any federal crime. However, the Constitution is silent on the self-pardon question, and there is no example of an American president ever following through on a self-pardon attempt. The case for a self-pardon being constitutionally allowed rests heavily on the principle that the Constitution does not forbid the practice. Therefore, it should be permissible. Much of the case law on the president's pardon power upholds a broad clemency power and defers largely to the president's judgment. The arguments against the self-pardon include the view that the clemency power should be checked by other provisions of the Constitution, and that serving as a judge in one's own case is generally not recognized by American legal standards. Should Trump attempt to pardon himself, a Supreme Court case suggests that such a move is akin to admitting guilt. In other words, a self-pardon would ultimately be self-defeating, because it would supply the impetus needed by Congress to deploy the ultimate constitutional remedy for abuses of power, impeachment. Of course, Trump has already been impeached once. Would a Democratic House try to impeach him again if he ends up having to exit the White House early next year? Unlikely again. Just turn the page. Who needs to hold this president accountable? Fuck it. Let's turn the page. Under these unique circumstances, then, impeachment would seem to be a clear, ineffective deterrent, and therefore a self-pardon might succeed. It is unclear who, if anyone, would have the necessary legal standing I'm so sorry, I haven't slept in nearly 24 hours. The necessary legal standing required to challenge a presidential self-pardon in court. And even if a challenge was successfully brought, the ultimate decision would likely rest with the United States Supreme Court. How many of its 6 Republican-appointed justices, including 3 nominated by Trump himself, would oppose a Republican president's self-pardon attempt? Unclear. A less controversial alternative to the self-pardon would be for Trump and Vice President Pence to use the 25th Amendment to achieve the result they want. Trump would temporarily step down from the presidency at some point before the official end of his term, leaving Pence to take over as acting chief executive. Acting President Pence would pardon Trump, who could then become president again or resign from office. If pressed by Trump, would Pence, who may hope to run for president himself at some point, agree to such an arrangement? Unknown. So again, this is fun. This is fun. I love this kind of speculation. Is Donald Trump going to barricade himself in the Oval Office? Oh. Is he going to run again in 2024? Oh. Is he going to pardon himself for the crimes that he is clearly guilty of that the Biden administration probably won't try to prosecute him on? I don't know. Stay tuned for next week's episode of whatever the fuck is going on, because hopefully next week is even more fun than this week. And judging by the trends, that's very likely. So, that's what I have to say about that. Again, see the humor in things. See the humor in things. That's my motto.